Here, a city that has been one of the safest in the United States of America for 20 years and counting, safe long before a wall was built here in 2008. In fact, a little less safe after that wall was built. We can show the rest of the country as we make our stand here together tonight that walls do not make us safer. Walls will require us to take someone's property, their house, their farm, their ranch, to build a wall at a time of record low northbound apprehensions, at a time that El Paso is not the outlier in the cities of the border. In fact, if you look at McAllen, if you look at San Diego, if you look at all points in between, the U.S. cities of the U.S.-Mexico border are far safer than the U.S. cities deeper in the interior of the United States of America. We know that walls do not save lives. Walls end lives. In the last 10 years, more than 4,000 children, women, and men have died trying to come to this country, to work jobs that no one will take, to be with a family member, to flee horrific brutality and violence and death in their home countries. And as we build these walls, 600 miles of the 2,000-mile border walled up and counting, we push them to ever more treacherous and remote stretches of the U.S.-Mexico border, thereby ensuring greater suffering and death. We stand for America, and we stand against walls.
Just look at Homeland Security reports. Look at all of the reports that have come.
But there are, you talked about their reports. I got to look at a bunch of studies here that say there's actually no correlation between illegal immigration and crime, and that in fact, immigrants actually commit crimes at a lower number.
You're not a baby. Okay, you're not a baby.
I'm not saying there's not a lot of individual
coming in are causing tremendous problems. People will not come into our country illegally. We're going to fix that. We are going to make it so that, like it's never been before. I don't know if you know, but the Border Patrol agents, 16,500 Border Patrol agents endorsed Donald Trump. They've never done that for a presidential candidate before.
Absolutely. I can hear all of you over there. Thank you. Do you think wealth corrupts?
Certainly can corrupt.
There are two things in life, love and work. If you had to choose one, if it was a life and death situation, which one would you choose?
I would probably choose love.
You would?
I think so, yes.
Despite the fact that you spend all your time working, achieving, creating.
The happiest people tend to be the people that are making a nice income, that really enjoy their life and their family life, and not the people of tremendous wealth that are constantly driven to achieve more and more success. You're expected to be a certain kind of a person, and maybe you're not necessarily cut out to be that kind of a person.
How did that Donald Trump become this Donald Trump?
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
There were 36 years between those two moments. Years in which a young developer transformed himself into a president.
New York, the most vibrant, exciting city in America, the Big Apple, one hell of a town. Every cliché you've ever heard about the place is true. Manhattan is alive, proud of itself, and winning. Everywhere there is the thump of pneumatic drills, the whine of a dumper truck, the coppery smell of quick money. It's hard to believe that 7 years ago this city faced bankruptcy, with debts approaching a staggering $2,000 million. Then there were just 2 major construction sites in New York. Today, there are 329. The near-fatal hemorrhage of jobs and people from the city has been slowed, stopped, and reversed in just 7 years. So how has the magic worked? A surprisingly modest City Hall cowers at the feet of Wall Street skyscrapers. When the city looked like defaulting, the shadow of Wall Street became all too substantial. The bankers moved in like a firm of liquidators. Their chosen instrument, Felix Rohatyn, had a suitably low opinion of politicians. This convention center will bring jobs and money into the rundown Docklands area of the West Side. It will be as long as the Empire State Building is tall. AT&T have just built a new head office with 1,000 jobs in Midtown Manhattan, and IBM have arrived with another 2,000. The Trump Tower, when it's completed, will be $400 million worth of high-priced apartments, commercial space, and boutiques.
What's happened is phenomenal. I've never seen anything to the extent that I have in New York. It now, from a real estate standpoint, has probably become the hottest city in the world. People are flocking here by droves. And I guess a lot of things had to do with it. Mostly, I feel, it was the psychology of making New York a winner as opposed to a loser.
It's a nice line, but straight public relations. The tax holiday that the Trump Organization was given to build this hotel in 42nd Street is worth $45 million. But Donald Trump wouldn't dream of blushing.
Probably it's the greatest thing that the city ever did, and I think the city is the first to acknowledge it. They went overboard, they gave a tremendous break for the first time, actually in the history of New York. We got this commercial tax abatement. We took a building that had 1 person working, we now employ 2,000 people, and we employed during peak construction periods over 4,000 people. So the city is the big winner. I might add one other thing. I would have never built the development if I didn't get the tax abatement.
New York has sucked jobs back into the city, and new jobs mean new taxpayers, new ratepayers. The tax base of New York has increased by $3,000 million in 7 years, and the turning tide has washed back quite a few of the frightened middle-class New Yorkers who left when times were bad.
Do you find New York a saner, less violent, less frightening place than when you left it?
I think so, especially in certain neighborhoods, certain pockets. I think people have been drawn together for many reasons over the years, politically, and realize that they need to work together on a much more broad scale than before.
So the threat of bankruptcy might have had some quite good social effects.
Possibly. That kind of thing always brings New Yorkers together. Blackouts, threat of bankruptcy, any kind of thing like that tends to bring the community together.
And the community is increasingly middle class. It has to be. A tax-subsidized development by Trump has turned a rundown area like 42nd Street into a desirable address. Soho used to be a low-rent garment district. Today, property prices and rents are sky-high. Shops and restaurants are mushrooming, and the working class have moved out. It's all very reminiscent of Islington in the late 60s. When the bankers told New York there was no such thing as a free lunch, they removed the power of the vote from the people who might object. Which may be why the South Bronx makes a deprived area like Newham look like paradise. Dispossessed by a boom that was engineered largely at their expense, it was blue-collar jobs that were axed and welfare payments that were cut to pay for Donald Trump's tax breaks. The poor of this area grew so desperate a few years ago that they started to burn down their homes. Manhattan may be thriving, but crime has rocketed by 25% in 2 years, and parts of the city are in agony. Felix Rohatyn would argue that without a rich man's table, there are no crumbs for the poor.
Yes. For all the workers in the fields, for all the workers in their factories. You have a great night out there. Be safe driving home, and we'll see you soon.
So, what made you come out here today?
I don't know, a ton of support.
What is El Paso to you? There's a story out there that the president's putting out, but what is your story in El Paso? What is El Paso to you?
My story is my home. It's beautiful. It's everything. The people are great. Everything's perfect.
Is it a safe city?
It's the best city.
Thank you. Can I ask you guys a few questions? What is El Paso to you? Is it a safe city? Tell me about why you decided to come out here.
To be with the people.
Questions on camera?
I don't know where they went.
Why did you come out here?
Oh, they're over there. But anyways,
What is El Paso to you?
he came up to us and he was just yelling at us so we didn't go back to Mexico. Like, we were born here, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, cars, races, fashion, rocking down the street. And college represents, like, way through. And I feel like we can be that, and we have been that. We've always been in the past, and we've always been an in-between place. And I wish more people could see that, you know?
Is it a safe city? Alright, thank you. Can you tell me why you decided to come out here tonight?
Fuck Donald Trump.
Can you tell me why you decided to come out here tonight?
Just support Beto and the wall. I mean, cut that out.
I will not put that in.
Support Beto and just everything that he believes in and how to make this nation great.
What is El Paso to you?
So I'm from East Texas, around Houston, small town. And then when I came to El Paso, I never knew the city. I'm in the military. But coming here, it's like a melting pot of different cultures. And it's just a great, safe city. Even the military pushes out that it's a safe city.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. Yeah. Tell me about El Paso safety.
El Paso is a very safe city because I've lived there and I've lived in Juarez as well.
How long have you lived here?
17 years.
Why did you decide to come out here tonight?
To dance with Beto.
Yeah. For Beto.
And what does El Paso mean to you?
El Paso's home. El Paso's where I grew up. El Paso's where my family's in.
Tell me about like the safety of El Paso.
I've never felt.
I've never felt unsafe in Juarez either.
I've never felt unsafe in El Paso. I can walk the streets at night with no qualms.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to share about El Paso's story that you love?
El Paso's so rich in culture. Why would anybody try to take that away from us? And we're rich in culture because we're on the border.
Because of Mexico.
I love it. Thank you for your thoughts, guys. Appreciate you.
Ready for my thoughts? I see whatever.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Maybe.
Yeah, you look familiar.
School.
So why did you guys decide to come out here tonight? Do you love tell me about El Paso. What does El Paso mean to you?
El Paso is a melting pot. You know, we're blessed by diversity, and not only that, we're the most unique city in the United States. There's no other place like El Paso, and this is what we're here to represent. We're here to represent the culture, the roots, the background, our history. You know, something that's being undermined by our 45th president. You know, everybody has their beliefs, and everybody's free to believe whatever they want. You're just not gonna silence a group of people that know where they come from, and that is El Paso. We're here to show that El Paso is united, and not only that, we're more than what they try to make us look like.
I love it. Thank you. What does El Paso mean to you?
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Just one or two words. What is it? When you think El Paso, you think?
I think El Paso, I think family. You know what? And I've lived in several cities. I've lived in Dallas, I've been to Colorado, I've been to California, and every time I always come back to El Paso for the same reason. I can walk anywhere out in these streets and I can expect someone, if my car breaks down, I know someone's gonna pull over and help me out. If I get lost somewhere, I can ask anybody at any corner where I'm at, and they're gonna help me out. Anywhere you go in El Paso, they're willing to help you out. Everyone loves each other out here. It's love thy neighbor. We really represent that out here, and I think it's really misunderstood by our president and by a lot of people that choose to believe him.
Is El Paso a safe town?
Yes.
We've been a safe city compared to other growing cities. We're still a safe border town city. It's amazing to even say that, but we're fortunate enough to have everybody we know, all our loved ones, unaffected by this so-called violence that Trump wants to call out on the entire USA. He wants to say that we're a dangerous border, and we're not. You see it everywhere. The truth is there. It's walking around on day-to-day basis. Trump showing up for one day does not change the way El Paso is. El Paso is peaceful. El Paso has been always about unity. We've been able to merge so many cultures, so many beliefs, and we all respect each other. We're not having the same problems as other cities in the United States are having right now with the entire Trump division.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys, real quick. So, you mind editing that to where when I have my face covered?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got my word on that. Yeah.
All right, man.
Anybody want to share a few words about why they came out?
I have to play with the band.
Oh, okay.
That guy right there.
Maybe we should ask him.
He's got a lot to say.
What do you call this? Oh, it's a GoPro. It's a GoPro Karma stick. Oh, okay. It's a stabilizer. So I can basically, the thing will stay stable. It also works with phones, right? I don't know. Not this one. There are some that do. The ones that work with phones are like another brand. It's like the DJI or something like that. It's a stabilizer for the phones. The difference being like a phone will not be the level of quality as the highest on the GoPro at this point. So you'll find when they put cameras in cars and stuff like that, they'll put these cameras. Okay. Thank you. Look at all these things on the chat. What do you work for? Oh, I'm just doing a personal blog. That's pretty much it. Can you tell me why you came out here today?
Why did I come out here today?
Yeah.
Because the sky is dark now. Because obviously Trump's lies are Trump's lies are getting to everybody, and we have to come out and stand up for the community.
What does El Paso mean to you?
I'm not from here originally, so I can tell you, I can give you an objective opinion because I came here 21 years ago. It's one of the nicest places I've lived in and visited. I've visited many, many places and lived in many places. The people are genuinely nice here. And so I think that speaks volume of the city, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. You're
no problem, bro.
very good.
Hold on, thank you, bro.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
Take care, bro. We'll see you there. Take care.
Andrei, let's stay in touch. He was my student.
Get your Trump gear, guys, right here. Don't be a Democrat, get yourself a Trump hat. Trump gear, right here.
Immigrants contribute to this community, especially when it comes to safety. O'Rourke also talks about some of the other immigration policies that he would like to see.
It was a long day. It has become a peaceful night. As Trump supporters flow out, some of them are being yelled at by Beto O'Rourke supporters. But so far, there has been no fighting. There has been no back and forth. Police, El Paso police here have successfully kept the peace, and they have kept any violence from breaking out. Overall, it seems as if people will go on their way and go on to tell about this night, which many Trump supporters say is Donald Trump's first step on the road to lead to re-election. In El Paso, outside of the Coliseum, Michael Gordon, ABC 7. That's good. That's good. I can cut if I need to. I can cut from that to this.
I don't know if there's that many people yelling.
You don't mind me talking? No.
You enjoyed it? What did you think of El Paso and your stay here in El Paso?
I live here.
Oh, you live here?
I live
so
here.
What do you think about El Paso and
it's a great city to live in, but it's, you know, since the wall was built, it's been safer. But then just all the guys that want to fact check, how many illegal immigrants have run over on the border highway. Okay. Right about a couple blocks from here. Okay. Yeah, since they built the wall, no more. There would be about 40, 50 people going across the street every day in front of our homes. That stopped. All the burglaries around the community. Here on Delta, Pascalate Park, Isleta, in Riverside area, everything was gone down. All the crime. There's no more drive-bys.
Yeah.
And assaults. There's killings and everywhere, but look at Juarez. Yeah. It's been pretty bad. So, but
how long ago was El Paso unsafe?
Unsafe?
Yeah, how long ago?
Well, it was in the 2000. They started building the wall, I believe, in 2007 or 8 or 9. But afterwards, like I tell you, there's no crime and there's no people coming across the border like it was before. It was open borders, and like I told you, there's 40, 50 people every day walking across on our neighborhood. Thank you. God bless America.
Don't necessarily agree, but see what else we can get.
No comment.
I don't agree with anything. Would any of you like to share what your experience was like? Would anybody like to share what your experience was like?
Amazing!
All right. Would you like to share what your experience was like?
Awesome!
Yes?
Awesome rally! Best rally!
What do you think of El Paso?
What I think of El Paso, I think there's a lot of foolish Democrats in El Paso.
Okay. Are you from El Paso?
I am, 53 years.
And do you think what do you think about El Paso's safety?
El Paso safety?
Yes.
I think it's very safe now that that border's there.
Any comments, sir?
It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
I don't think it's such a bad thing for both sides. Certainly don't wish any ill anything. We want what's best for them too. Of course, we have to change things in that country with their government. Hope they can see our way. But I think in America, American citizens, people do the right thing come first. And of course, we care about the people there. Their needs are second. And at the same time, we help those better people.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
All right. Go Trump!
Share your thoughts about your experience tonight?
I'm actually going to rush. Got to pick up my daughter.
Would you guys like to share your thoughts on your experience tonight?
No, thank you.
You just tripped or you fell?
Ron and Patsy Stallworth are a great example of who we are at our best. Ron, his dedication to public service, 32 years as a police detective, helping to keep communities in this country safe, infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan, broke their power in Colorado, by extension in this country, wrote a New York Times bestseller, Black Klansman, made into one of the best movies of last year, been nominated for 6 Academy Awards, and as he traveled this country sharing his story, he always made sure to say powerfully positive things about El Paso, Texas, the home that he and Patsy Stallworth call home. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron and Patsy Stallworth.
Hello, El Paso! Viva la Mexico! We are so pleased to be here tonight. When I was asked to come on stage and kind of end this program, I asked them, what should I say? What do you want me to do? They said, just basically speak from the heart, say what you want, but don't cuss. So I will try to adhere to those rules. I am El Paso native. This is the city that nurtured me, that gave me the values that I live by. The people in this city embraced me when I was young. They're embracing me today with all the success that's come my way. This is my home. And I take it very personally when somebody who has a national stage goes on TV and says that it's a dangerous city that they need to build a wall here in order to keep the crime out. I don't have to tell you who said that. But I want you to know, every chance I get when I travel, I try to impress upon the people in the various cities we're in that we're El Pasoans, that El Paso is a nice, warm, friendly community. Very safe community. That the people are very embracing, that we celebrate our culture, both on this side of the border and on the other side. We are a people united. We're El Pasoans, we're Mexicanos, and we are Americans. So when you see somebody wearing a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, translated to mean Make America White Again, so that they can subject us to their to be their underlings. We are not going to do that. We are not going to accept that. Okay? We are going to move America forward. And I have one question for you. When did America stop being great? Never, exactly. But somebody promotes that idea. I won't mention who. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. El Paso, I love you. We love you. We all love Beto. And somebody go twist his arm and tell him that we want him to run for president.